So our next read aloud that we're going to do this year in grade 5 is called Naomi's Road. The reason that I choose this book to read is because part of the social studies curriculum we learn about the Japanese internment during World War II. And this story is about a little girl who experiences that. I like it because it's short and it's kind of told from a kid's perspective. If you were in 5C, we read Number of the Stars, which was also about World War II, but this is just a different perspective. And so this is based in Canada. So Naomi's Road by Joy Kogawa. Chapter 1. Bong, bong, bong. 5, 6, 7. Evening's shadowy light is soft and quiet. The mantel clock in the living room chimes that it's bath time at Naomi's house. Grandma Kato is waiting in the hot, hot water for 4-year-old Naomi, the youngest in the family. Come, Grandma Kato calls. She is sweating in the misty steam. When Naomi steps in, Grandma Kato sits up and moves to the tap end. The fierce water hurts, but Grandma is happy that Naomi is brave. Naomi's feet turn lobster red, as if she were wearing red socks. Cold, cold, Grandma says, laughing. Naomi is braver than her big 7-year-old brother, Stefan. He won't go into such angry water. Naomi sits slowly, carefully, while Grandma Kato lies down again. Ah, Grandma says and closes her eyes. Naomi finally gets all covered in the hot water, up to her neck, and she is comfortable. After they soak, Grandma scrubs Naomi with her washcloth rolled tight as a fist. So when we read things like rolled as tight as a fist, that is what we call a simile. It's a comparison between two things that uses like or as. So as we read this chapter, you guys should listen to comparisons that use like or as, so similes, because this isn't the first one I've already noticed. Grandma Kato is so bony and tough, Naomi thinks she could sit in a boiling pot on a stove and not be cooked. She's the toughest woman in the world. She has bony knees and bony hands and a thin face, and the only time she seems to rest is when she takes a bath. When the bath is over, Naomi walks sleepily to get a tea biscuit and then goes to the sunroom. She is in her namaki, her Japanese nightie, which is like a cotton housecoat with a tie. Oh, I heard the word like. She curls up round as a peach in a big bamboo chair, wing chair. The air is bouncingly cheerful with the easy pieces Mama and Stefan are playing, so she's listening to them play the piano. Mama's buckled shoes tap against the piano's stools, skinny legs. Tap, tap. If Stefan makes a mistake, he shakes his head, pushes his round glasses back up on his nose, and frowns. Behind them, Daddy bobs up and down like a dancer. And 1 and 2, up and 1 and 2. Daddy's long fingers hold a pencil which makes squiggly marks on Stefan's music book. Naomi dreamily munches her biscuit and watches the 2 fat goldfish in the bowl near the window ledge swimming back and forth, opening their hungry mouths. Mama's voice, singing Naomi's kindergarten song, is yasashi, soft and tender. Mama is always yasashi. She's trying to coax Naomi to join them, but Naomi is too lazy after the bath. Coax means to convince. How did you, Miss Daffodilly, get your pretty dress? Is it made of golden sunshine? Yes, child, yes. Your biscuit looks good, Daddy says, coming over and pretending he's a goldfish smacking his lips. Silly, Naomi giggles and breaks off a piece for him. Beside the goldfish bowl is a porcelain statue of a young Japanese man. Naomi slides her hands over his hard, shiny head, over the lump of twigs on his back, and down the shiny book in the shiny little hands. See how he carries wood? Daddy asks. See his book? He lifts the heavy statue and places it carefully in Naomi's hands. Stefan stops playing the piano and comes over to listen. Nino Miya Kinjiro, Daddy says slowly. Can you say his name, Naomi? He was a poor boy. A poor, poor boy. Imagine a life with no food? No, you can't imagine it. Nino Miya Kinjiro had a baby brother and a mother, and they had no food. He used to get up early every morning in the dark before the rooster crowed. And away he'd go into the mountains to gather wood and sell. But do you see what's in his hands? A book. He loved books. He loved to feel them and smell them. He read them all by himself as he walked. And do you know what? He became the greatest teacher in all of Japan. Daddy takes the figure and rubs its smooth, cold cheek against Stefan and Naomi's cheeks. That's because he studied by himself, all by himself. Nobody helped him. He was so lucky because he loved books. He had a special road, the road of learning. Everyone has a special road. You do, Stefan, and so do you, Naomi. So while you guys are at home, that's one of the best things that you can do, is to take the time to read a book and try to do some learning on your own. Mama stops playing the kindergarten songs. Yes, she says, we will all learn what our road is someday. What's yours, Mama? Naomi asks. Mama takes Naomi's hand. I think my road has something to do with N and S, she says. It's a riddle for you. N and S, my special N and my special S. Oh, that's easy. N and S, that's north and south, Daddy says. Wrong, Mommy says. Stefan says, N must stand for Ninny, Nani, Noonie. Mama laughs and pats Stefan's cheek. Well, time for bed. She takes Naomi's hand and off they go over the deep blue Indian rug and through the living room, the darkest room, with dim lights on the walls. Sometimes, when Naomi and Stefan play with his toy cars, they use the rug's border for roads, and Stefan's lead soldiers with the bright red coats march along the lines. Past the living room, past the dining room, with its heavy walnut table, is Naomi's bedroom. Long white lace curtains over the windows reach to the floor. The top of the peach tree almost touches the window. In the back of the yard grows Naomi's favorite tree, the beautiful cherry tree. Just this afternoon, Naomi reached the lowest branches and she hung upside down by her arms and legs like a monkey. She could see the bees and butterflies that came to taste the white cherry blossoms and the birds that were carrying twigs to make a nest. Once, when the window of her bedroom was open, a robin came and landed on the window ledge. It didn't fly away but looked right at Naomi with its bright, curious eyes. Above Naomi's bed is a picture of a little green bird in a green tree. The sky is green too. A little girl with a green book in her lap is looking up at the bird in the tree. Naomi goes to her window and waves. Good night, world, she says. Good night, birds. Good night, cherry tree. So that is the end of chapter 1 of our book. So far in this book, some things I'd like you to consider. Who are our characters? What do we know about them? And also, when and where do we think this book is taking place? What is the setting? And starting to think about potentially some of the deeper meanings of the story. So check back for chapter 2.